Welcome to the 12th International Symposium on the Czech Foreign Policy, Building Sustainable Connections. We are living in the world of technology, and hopefully everything will go well today. This is our main hope. My name is Alica Kizeková, and I'm the program coordinator for this symposium, and I'm a senior researcher at the Institute of International Relations, Prague. We have a very nice program ready for you today. I'm going to walk you through it a bit later. But first, we will have a brief opening remarks from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Petříček. I'm just going to check whether he's connected to make his remarks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege for me to join you in this discussion. I'm sorry for not being able to do it in a more suitable premises, but I'm on my way to attend GlobSec in Slovakia. I would like to start by stressing that IIR International Symposium is already a well-established event in the calendar of foreign policy experts, and in times of COVID, it is highly commendable that this forum continues and provides opportunity for experts to meet and discuss relevant current topics. I would like to also appreciate the selection of the topic for this year symposium, because throughout the pandemic, throughout the COVID-19 epidemic, we saw how important connectivity is in the current world, starting with the physical connectivity, where we see increasing interconnection between Europe, Asia, Europe, America. At the same time, we saw during the crisis that increasingly important is also digital connectivity. And here I'm glad that there are ways of continuing our activities even in the situation when during the spring we were forced to close our countries to go for lockdowns. Still, we managed to use digital tools to stay in touch, to continue our work, and also to continue with diplomacy. Last but not least, I would like to use this opportunity and to stress that connectivity is very well linked with sustainable development. And I hope that here we can use the maximum of new technologies to make connectivity a part of the solution, not part of the problem of fighting climate change, providing sustainable development to all parts of the world. And last but not least, also to help meet our Agenda 2030 goals and SDG as a key pillar of our international cooperation. I'm sorry to be very brief, but the situation doesn't allow me to be more detailed. To conclude, I would like to stress that we are really happy that this symposium is taking place. Our ministry is supporting Institute of International Relations in all its activities throughout the pandemic and now. And I would like to stress that the outcome of your debate is very important food for thought for policymakers at the ministry and in other institutions of the Czech Republic. So thank you very much for the invitation. I wish you fruitful debate and all the best.
Thank you so much, and I wish you a safe trip.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we heard very important remarks how the technology shouldn't really prevent us from finding solutions, because part of our mission today is really under the collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and us and other entities, which I will highlight later, to really engage in dialogue, especially in areas where there is a lot of work on the ground, but we feel like there needs to be a way to find more lasting solutions, to go beyond providing assessments, but really tap into some collaborations that will have an impact. I would like to now invite opening remarks from the Director of Institute of International Relations Prague, Ondřej Ditrych.
Dear colleagues, friends, due to the ongoing pandemic of COVID-19, we convene in extraordinary conditions. Not in the ground halls of the Czernín's Palace, but in a virtual space enabled by modern technology. For today, this singular space is the undisputed center of the public debate about Czech foreign policy. Debate where experts meet decision makers, journalists, students, and interested public. Debate where we at the Institute of International Relations showcase our policy research in areas spanning European politics, security, environment, energy, or sustainable development, but where we are crucially joined by colleagues from the academia and think tanks across the continent, from the diplomatic service and NGOs, and of course you, who are spending your precious time to follow the debate and, so we hope, also take an active part in it. The spotlight theme of this year's 12th annual symposium is Building Sustainable Connections. We chose it last fall, but it could not have been more topical today as the world lives through the uniquely synchronic experience of COVID-19 pandemic and is to grapple with its aftermath for years to come. The pandemic threatens to catalyze several disruptive trends in the global order, which already was under stress due to increasing geopolitical competition and the slow but inevitable advent of multipolarity, resurgence of nationalism and the challenges of post-factuality, closing of societies and building walls to impede or shield against global flows. There are some 66 walls and fences built around the world among nations, 50 of them constructed over the last 20 years. And all this at a time when twin disruptive megatrends, new technologies and climate change are knocking at the door. It is in the vital interest of the Czech Republic that connections at all scales of global politics are preserved and that humanity, a part, but only a part, of the great terrestrial community of fate, whose cultivation provides a horizon to our being, remains one. That we restore the common world, having in mind care for fundamental human rights, but also environment, and in view of inevitable changes in the way our societies are organized, also global social justice, and fair sharing of resources and produces of our labor. Let me express a hope that today's conference will be a contribution, even if a small one, to this restoration. Thanks for connecting.
When we were preparing the concept, as our director mentioned, in the fall of last year, we were really looking into going from multilateral collaboration under the Alliance for Multilateralism in the European context and in collaboration with the United Nations, how we can find solutions in a more multi-spectral way, beyond just physical connection through digital space, energy, but also human aspects, economy, security, and so forth. And we really wanted to see how we can look beyond quick solutions that sometimes don't take in consideration preservation of human rights, maybe underpin the democratic values, but also don't always tackle the environmental consequences of our actions. So today's program is going to look into different spheres, how, first of all, they define connectivity through their area of expertise, namely human rights or post-conflict resolutions, involvement of all society through more representation of women, or also looking into more environmental policies, energy planning, but also, as we had a talk yesterday, on how to minimize interferences in affairs of states because those foreign interferences sometimes can undermine our democratic values and our democratic regimes. I personally am pretty excited, having run this event my third time, to have female keynotes, actually 2 of them, which will follow these introductory remarks, which is the first time in the history of the symposium. I'll give them introductions later, but one is Professor Nancy Snow, who is currently in Japan, is an American scholar. But the second one is Françoise Nicolas, who is from Paris, in France, from IFRI, and she's an economist. So both of these experts are going to have their take on these COVID times in their respective area of governance, propaganda, media, engagements with public, and also on the economic shifts that we are experiencing now. We also have very important panels on Germany's presidency and the European Union, which will take a very good discussion with speakers from Germany, Czech Republic, United Kingdom. But then we also have a very trans-regional debate, which will run parallel on Eurasia and Europe, mainly European Union and Eurasia connectivity through different case studies. We have 6 speakers there, and they will each tackle different aspects of engagements from grassroots and communities all the way through policies on the EU and governmental levels. Follow that, we have debates on, as I already mentioned, the Green Deal and environmental policies, where my colleague is going to lead a lively discussion with speakers from Norway and Germany. We have debate on international development, on sustainable development, which also will be quite interactive. Our colleague is an expert on Africa, so we will tackle different regions during case studies. I will take over discussion with women experts who will come from different backgrounds and expertise to speak about their roles and experiences in finding solutions, but also from their respective areas, how they personally think we should look at foreign policy, diplomacy, but also think tanks and other spheres. Then we have a very important panel on post-conflict zones and resolutions, mainly dealing with Iraq and Syria, which is something that is very close to hearts in the Czech Republic, making sure that there are some solutions on the ground that will provide more lasting governance and also make sure that people and their development, human factors really considered beyond the political decisions and engagements. We have afterwards a panel on energy, and that's a mix of Czech expert and German colleague. To thank everyone would be taking up too much time today, but I have to thank again the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for allowing us to run this event normally at the Czernin Palace, as it was advertised initially, but today through this portal. But also we have an official sponsor from the United States Embassy through Grant, who was supporting our keynote speaker. But we also engage with other embassies, very good collaboration. Just to name a few, there was an embassy from Germany, Norway, and Canada that have been engaged more maybe this year. Other years are different partners. We have engagements with NGOs. So each chair will highlight a specific makeup of their panel and the partners. I really want to thank my colleagues, our conference service, and the volunteers, our interns who are involved in all panels and writing reports for the final report. It's a great experience for them to engage and draft the key ideas from these debates. Let me just say, I hope everybody is safe, and your family and your closest colleagues and relatives, if you are going through a hard time and are at home. We hope that this can stimulate your brain a little bit, and I know it's not easy, but maybe distract you from the difficulties that you might be facing. Let's hope everything goes well with our connection. If it doesn't, I'm sure we all are now learning to be more understanding and calmer when it comes to disruptions in our lives and professional work. We will take a little break, and after the break we have 2 remarks from keynote speakers, followed by a discussion where the audience can also ask questions. So we hope to engage you through your comments and have this kind of interactive engagement. Thank you.